This is Jason Faulkner, aka Shop Weasel. How are y'all this morning? I'm shopping for a 3D plastic printing service that can print a brake assembly for my cart. I want to screw it to this face, and here's the schematic of it. I want it in a channel, so this is a separate piece with tabs coming off the side with mounting holes in it, and then a center bar that can slide within this. So this is going to hold this stable. This is actually underneath the channeling that this has got to be, or part of it. So there'll be a solid plastic piece that slides up in this outer channel, this mount and brake assembly. And then this piece has to have a wide tab up here, so one can simply use his foot to press down, not too wide out, but generous, so you can use your hand or your foot to engage it. And then I need a locking tab incorporated into this, but pinned in, so that I have to be a raised ear off this somewhere, preferably down lower, with a pin running through it to attach it to this. And this has got a pivot, so when this ear tab here catches a cross brace, that's to come out enough generously so this locking tab can engage it and lock the brake head onto the wheel. So brake head's got to drop down and engage this wheel. The face of this brake head should have fine striations along the inside upper surface of it. So when it presses down on this, it's got a positive locking ability. I need 2 of these made. Nothing too fancy. I want it pretty strong and durable, but it's for display purposes mainly. But I would like to feature on my cart here my display demo unit. So I'm going to take some quick measurements here. Let's see. Here's the distance between the physical contact of the wheel, and between 8 and 9 inches would satisfy a height to engagement. Now this is a funky shape. It sort of bevels down in here, so I'm not worried about the bevel because there's plenty of flat surface here to mount it to. Now there's the distance between the flat surface and the wheel. I will run this. Let me just turn around here so I can run this up the surface so you can get some idea of what. I'll do it this way. Put it on the 2-inch mark to give you some idea of what we're looking at here. So and the brake head is going to have to be offset a little. I want it to sit centered on this wheel. So there it is. Nothing fancy. I'm just going to use, I'll drill little holes in here. It's pretty thick plastic, and use some fine thread screws, some specialty screws I'll get from somewhere. Pretty simple brake design. I would like a return spring to fit in here, so maybe on this locking tab on the back of it, toward the inside of this, there'll be a raised tab or a cross nipple coming up, so I can put a return spring from here to here, and one under here inside toward the back, sort of like an X nipple on the bottom coming down, and one here on this this locking tab coming up, so I can go somewhere and buy a spring. It ain't got to be that long of a spring. Just when I pull this tab up to unlock it a little, it'll uncatch from the bottom face of this crossover, and the spring will naturally make it ride a little higher. So when I want to re-engage it, I just press down and it'll lock back into this bottom lip going across here on the bottom. Pretty simple design. Do I need the locking head pivoting? Not really. I mean, if you get the angle to where the majority of this will engage the wheel, it don't need a pivot. It can be just one piece on this center coming down to form this cupped brake head. Matter of fact, I'd probably prefer it to be one piece instead of pivoting. So there it is. I need 2 of these made. How much will it cost? And I'd like them soon. Jason Faulkner, aka Shop Weasel. And I'm waiting for Friday. I'm going to be redoing these. I've got tiger clamps coming that I'll bolt to the PVC top and bottom. And then they'll just slide on here. You turn one bolt in on each, and it'll clamp it on here. Then if you don't want them on there, you can unbolt it. Just gently unscrew it a little, and they'll pull right off. That was a good compromise I thought of on that. I was hoping to find some complete shackle ones, but I seen the tiger clamps are just as tough and durable, and won't give. So I got that on the way. There it is. There's my fabulous Shop Weasel Salamander folding universal travel cart, sporting cart, fishing cart. The only cart with clamping sides. My innovative features in this cart are many, and it is a fine, fabulous cart. I'm going to go shopping with it today. My number's 423-231-2241. Jason Faulkner, aka Shop Weasel from East Tennessee. Hope to hear from someone that has a CDC printer and the wherewithal to make my 2 simple needs here. Maybe we can do other business in the future, like some different style radial knobs. I'd like some triangular ones, but that's for later. Have a good day. Thank you. Hi, this is Jason. Hi, this is Jason Faulkner, and this is an updated video. I need this spring that I can add myself to this assembly. So toward the back of this catch, I need a nipple coming down also, and one matching the catch crossover. So when this is pushed down with the spring in there, this will have a force applied to it to draw it back toward that. But with a stop built into this, so it won't go in too far past where it won't latch on this when you press down with the top depressor pad up here, which should be fairly thick but not overly thick, enough so a guy can gingerly, or a woman or whoever, a kid, whatever, press down with their hand or foot to make this come down and engage under here with this catch, thus depressing the brake on this 5-inch wheel that's in the beginning of this video. That's the only additional thing I can think of. So basically the spring will serve 2 purposes. It'll force the end of this catch in toward this just enough to snap under here and lock it against the wheel. So I'll need a nipple coming down off underneath here, and on top of this here, so I can put a spring. I don't care how wide the spring is or long it is, as long as it isn't overly long. My whole goal is to release this or lock it positively in there. I don't care how short this brake arm is or the design of it. This was just the first sketching of it. I mean, what I'm thinking now is the back of this can be further back off this so a person can slide the two halves together. Maybe, I don't know, that's not feasible neither, because this will be across. But if this bar had ears on it where I could bolt it through the back, that would work too. Or screw it, should I say, because I'm screwing this whole thing to other plastic, as you see in my other video. That would be an easy option for me and doable. And the fact that it would be easier, whoever made this or 3D printed it could make this a lot easier overall and actually assemble the two halves by sliding it up through the bottom and then screwing this crossover tab to it, so when I depress this it will lock positively on this. This will have to be pinned through here on a protrusion coming up off the sides of the base assembly, so you can put this inside this thicker ear and put a pin through it. I can get my own pin or make one out of a small drill bit or whatever, so you needn't pin it in. I can obtain that. I just need this, this, and this, and this. However wide, you know. It doesn't need to be a full enclosure thing, just partial. So it just sort of engages a portion of the wheel. Jason Faulkner, aka Shop Weasel. Hope you enjoy this video. Hope you find it useful and informative enough for me to get this made. 3D printed. I would like this red and this black. This can be black and this can be black. I think the color contrast is important. That way anyone using my cart would instantly recognize the red symbol for the brake. If this was a red, I would like it somewhat durable and resilient. I will be using a small sharp nose hex head set of bolt screws to attach this to my cart. Also, checkering on the back of this would be helpful. If not full checkering, just a few striations of checkering, so I can put a thin coat of silicone on there on the back and have it positively bond to it, yet be removable if I ever need to adjust this. Like if the wheel ever wears down any, I can marginally drop it and retighten and re-glue the bolts so it re-engages the wheel positively. Thank you for your time. 423-231-2241, Jason Faulkner.